Kylie Jenner lipstick on my pussy lips.
Hello, good evening. And today is currently the 25th of the 9th, making it a Wednesday, meaning I am behind on schedule by 3 episodes. Will we talk about it? No. Does it mean this video has no script? Yeah. Let's just think of it as like a little yap sesh, a little sleepover if you will. I planned for this to be like not not educational as you might expect. I just want to have a discussion about what's happening because currently I'm the only one of my friends who has watched this series, well, like what's been released so far. I need someone to talk to. It's me and you, girl. Me and you. Also, I am like ill, so I'm sorry if I sound like death. Speaking of death, so the episode starts. We're back in Westview after 3 years, and we're back with Agatha, who's been hexed at the end of WandaVision, if you remember, to stay forever in Westview by Wanda. So Agatha is currently Agnes, a detective who has been taken off the job currently for beating up a suspect. And lo and behold, who is the policeman at the scene? But this guy from WandaVision. And then we find out that there's a body at the bottom of the creek. Now this is one of my yap points. Yap point number 1.
Woo! Yap point number 1!
Who is the body? So let's just do a little description of what the body was, okay? So according to my notes, the body was found crushed and with dirt under the fingernails from like some other place, meaning the body has been moved. Suspicious, because as we'll find out later, the body has scarlet red hair, meaning this is suspiciously sounding like Wanda Maximoff herself. Now, little callback, though everyone here should know, Wanda died at the end of Multiverse of Madness. She was crushed by a temple at the end of Multiverse of Madness. And I've seen on TikTok that Marvel released a book saying, like, confirming her death. But I feel that this isn't right. So I've got 3 theories. Number 1, this body is Wanda Maximoff and it was like real in time. She's clearly dead from the temple. We saw a like puff of scarlet magic, so maybe it transported her body to the bottom of the creek. As the dirt under her fingernails too means that she's been moved from somewhere. Number 2, this isn't Scarlet Witch, this is some like just completely random person, which I either go with this theory or I'm going with the third theory, that because this, like, as we said, Agatha is stuck in like a WandaVision like copycat, none of this is real, so the body doesn't even exist. And then Wanda is still alive because we've seen her development from Age of Ultron when she was first, or actually I think she was first introduced in the end of Winter Soldier, I want to say. But we've seen her progress from hero or villain to hero to like a kind of anti-hero. And I feel like that's kind of a waste, like just to kill her like that. And the most important thing, we saw no body, meaning she's not dead.
I'm in
clearly.
denial. Hi, editing me here. I just wanted to drop in and say the intro to this episode, oh my god, I enjoyed it so much. It was amazing. It was like a little Scandi noir detective-y thriller inspired, intro for the show. Really set the air for what was gonna happen, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Also the acting in this episode is insanely good. It's like comedy, real jokey, but it's kind of off as well. I just really enjoyed it. Anyways, I'll see you later.
After visiting the crime scene, Agnes takes a little trip down to the library with a library note she had found, and this is where things get crazy. So we see another WandaVision character. Suspiciously, the section that Agatha is directed to has been burnt down. So she gives up with that and goes on to the police station where we meet the one, the only, Audrey Plaza's character, which I don't remember the name of.
I don't remember her name because there was no name. She didn't have a name as an FBI agent. But look at this woman. She's so fine.
And she's a federal agent, the enemy of Agatha. There's also this guy from WandaVision, which is cool. After a pretty standoffish interaction with Aubrey Plaza's character, where she's whispering some pretty weird things, Agnes takes a little trip down to the pawn shop with a brooch that she found at the crime scene. This brooch, clearly Agatha Harkness's one from WandaVision, is dated back to the 1700s.
For the 1700s? Woo! My going rough!
She zooms off back to the police station, finding out that the book is The Dialogue and Rhetoric Known History of Learning and Debate. Acronym, The Darkhold. Da-da-da! Shortly after arriving home, Aubrey Plaza yet again turns up. And they're having a yap, and she goes, "Do you know why you hate me?" And suddenly, Big Bertha's upstairs. The footsteps are shaking the house. Agatha, obviously, runs upstairs to find some dude stealing her belongings. They have a little chase scene where he is struck down by Mrs. Hart, and he is unmasked to find it out it is Joe Locke. Now, this is another point.
Turns out I did explain my point as well as I, would like for my video. So we're doing it again. What I was saying was I did not have high hopes for Joe Locke. And okay, I judged a book by its cover because he was in Heartstopper, and I haven't watched Heartstopper myself, but I've watched YouTube videos on it, and let's just say it's not my cup of tea. So I was like, oh my god, here he is. He's probably going to be playing like some significant character. We're going to be stuck like him, like we were stuck with Harry Styles. Though Harry Styles did disappear, I think. But anyways, I actually quite enjoy him. I think he fits the character well. The reason I did judge him by his cover was because I'm a Doctor Who enjoyer personally, and I watched the Christmas specials. And if you watch Doctor Who, you know that Donna now has a daughter named Rose, and she's played by Yasmin Finney, I think is how you pronounce it. Sorry if I got that wrong, but I just couldn't get behind her acting. There was something off about it. Like, no hate her, she seems like a really nice person. But yeah, I just couldn't enjoy it. So I guess I just lumped him in with it. But yeah, his acting's pretty good.
And this is where things start to get tweaky. Okay. Agatha arrests the teen, and he's, after a pretty crazy interrogation, Agatha finds out that he's in search of the road. What's the road? We'll talk about that later. He starts incanting, and everything suddenly turns out to be not what it is. The double mirror turns into a painting, and the photos of the dead body of Wanda have turned into flower beds. To ease her mind, Agatha takes a trip down to the morgue, where instead of a body tag, there is a book tag on Miguel's dog's hair. And what does it say? Wanda, W. Maximoff. Wanda Maximoff took a book out, The Darkhold, or stole it from a library 3 years ago. Isn't this insane? And it reveals, after this name has appeared, on top of it before, it says Agatha or A. Harkness. Agatha Harkness. She owned the Darkhold before Wanda. Everything is coming together. After regaining her wits, Agatha tries to use her magic. Turns out she can't because she's still under the spell of Wanda Maximoff. And it is revealed that instead of arresting the boy, she's locked him in a cupboard. And finally, if he's real, Aubrey Plaza's one is too. Smacks my girl Agatha into a wall, and it turns out she is a green witch. And she's come for blood. She wants to finish Agatha.
The way things are going right now, my girl definitely wants to finish Agatha. Look at the way they look at each other.
Me too, girl, me too.
Oh, no. Don't even think about it, girl.
And the Green Witch, Rio, as her name is, agrees to this. But she says that she's going to send the Salem 7, who will come at sundown. In season 2, it is revealed that the witch's road is a path that a witch must take, and at the end, she gets whatever she dreams of, aka Agatha gets her magic back. And also Jolok's teen wants to get it, but we don't know his intentions yet.
Okay, so at this point, Microsoft Clipchamp had enough of my yappery, okay? Like, I think I've reached a limit because she just gave up. She stopped recording me. And now here we are. So the next, what? I only think it's the next 3 minutes because I realized pretty quickly. The next 3 minutes or so, my audio will switch to my phone. She did a pretty decent job though, so don't lose hope in her, okay? Anyways, I just want to explain the point that I was going to make, and that is that the teen number one is related to Wanda Maximoff, and number two is the Billy Maximoff, one of her twins. So my theory runs off 2 points. Number one is that at two key points in this episode, number one being when Agatha asks the teen his name, and number two being when they are on their way to make a coven for the road. The teen is muted, at least in Agatha's mind, but he is certainly muted when he's sharing key information. And clearly, this is some like sort of witchcraft. And I believe that because Agatha currently is under the spell of Wanda, not only has Wanda taken away her magic, but she is also like somehow this spell protects her kids. And Wanda Maximoff is obviously a motherly figure, not just to her kids, but to the editors here on TikTok, the Wattpad writers and consumers, the AO3 writers. I could just go on, but that's besides the point. She is all about family, so clearly she would want to protect her kids just in case they came into just in case they interacted with one of her foes. And the reason I believe that this is Billy Maximoff instead of Tommy Maximoff is that Billy was most like his mother. You know, he's got the telekinesis. And with his powers and also his mother, it would be clear that he studied magic just like the teen has. And also because, based on this theory, he would be a blood witch. But I guess that is just a theory. A film theory. And this could just be some random boy obsessed with magic, just wanted to see the road. But you know, it would make sense for Billy Maximoff to want the road. Maybe in the timeline he's from, because I don't think this would be the current timeline, just because in the MCU's like current timeline, you know, the core universe, Wanda Maximoff kids were a figment of her imagination slash of her witchcraft. So it would make sense that he's from some other timeline somehow. But maybe in that timeline, Wanda Maximoff is dead and maybe he just, you know, yearns for his mother, and at the end he'll make a wish. Oh my god. And then I thought, wouldn't it be crazy? Maybe the last episode we're gonna have a Wanda Maximoff cameo, because Marvel is always like pulling crazy series closers, which always set up for like the, you know, the films, maybe even other series. But yeah, I'll just let you get on with the video. That was my little yap sesh. And you'll be getting normal audio just in a sec, don't you worry. So, quick recap of the 4 people that are going to make up the coven. Our first witch on the list, Lilia Calderu. Now, Lilia is not interested in joining the coven. After she conjures up a little list of who should be in the coven, it turns out that her name is on it, so she has to join, reluctantly. She also has an eviction notice, so she has no say in the matter. She needs her money. She needs to walk the witch's road. Our next witch is Jennifer Kale, a high priestess who specializes in potions. And she's been magically bound, like Agatha, but this time she has been magically bound for, I think it was a century. She is recruited after the teen brings up her fraudulent past, meaning she had, I think, 800 counts of fraud, meaning she'd be bound away for life. So she's got to hop on as well. And our last witch, Alice Wu Gulliver. Now, Alice is a blood witch, which is a child of a witch, and her mother is the famous goddess of rock, Lorna Wu, who wrote the famous version of the ballad. Oh my god, more on this song later. It has filled up my TikTok For You page, and at first I was like, damn, this is trash. Because can we talk about the state of TikTok at the moment? The sounds on there, the nursery nurse verse, and then all of the drill tracks. It's just, the soundscape is getting a bit dry of TikTok, I'm not gonna lie. So I was like, god, here we go, another one. This thing is a bop. This thing is a bop.
But anyways, so she made that song. And Alice is not interested because her mother was lost to the road and she believes that the road is fake. However, after Agatha and the teen stage a robbery that she thwarts, she's left out of a job because the teen did not rob and her manager sees. So she's out. And now we have 3. Only problem is the last name is a black heart. And I think we can all tell that the black heart is Rio. So, the finale of this episode. They all go back to Agatha's house, set up in the little basement, to sing the Ballad of the Road to conjure up the doors. However, they need a 4th witch, the Green Witch. So sadly, this would be Rio, but Agatha is quite adamant that she's not coming. So she goes across the road. Remember Mrs. Hart? I love this woman. She is literally so cute. I hope she doesn't watch her turn out to be some evil kind of witch. After they all return to the basement, they start their little chant. And unfortunately, due to Mrs. Hart not being a green witch, the ballad does not go as planned, which is a problem because we've got the 7 demons, the Salem 7, right outside the door, having come for Agatha finally. So clearly all the witches are turning on each other. They're like left and right. Accusing people of being pitchy, and Agatha is trying to rile them up so they will hit her with their magic so she can take it all and doesn't have to go through all of this. But luckily, the doors do open just as the disgusting little like demons come flying down the stairs. So they've all hopped in the doors, the teen included, and suddenly we are on the road, and this is where the episode ends off. Now, I would like to say at the end, I liked how we had all the proper witches. They took all their shoes off on the road. I guess that's something you do. So we had all the witches with their little shoes off in like a little pentagram and Mrs. Hart's on the side. I just thought that was pretty interesting. But all in all, thoroughly enjoyed these episodes. I can't wait to watch the 3rd one tonight. Yeah, thank you for joining me tonight. Good night. I hope you enjoy your Agatha All Along Wednesday, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one.